This Indian Grandmaster believes in having a warrior mindset. What it essentially means is that you don't quit. You do whatever it takes to accomplish the task. You don't just survive, but you thrive and you get yourself moving and you go beyond your adversities and challenges and grow each and every day to become a better version of yourself. I'm talking about India's 66th Grandmaster Akash Ganesan. 2020 was a difficult year for a lot of chess players because they were not able to play over the board events. In case of Akash, he not only played a tournament in Prague, but he also won it. And this meant that he also earned a ticket to the Challengers section of the Prague event this year. Akash holds this unique record of being the national champion, the youngest national champion. And he's also drawn a classical game against Fabiano Caruana. Now, in addition to that, I will also read out some of his other achievements. He's got his second Grandmaster norm in Balaton, Hungary 2019 and silver in the national seniors which took place in Sikkim. So those are the achievements he considers as some of his best so far, and the best is yet to come as usual. Akash started chess at the age of 8. His dad introduced him to the game and he loves pawns and he feels that pawns exhibit that warrior-like mindset, and his favorite chess opening is Sveshnikov, and he reads a lot of self-help books or non-chess books. Some of them that he mentioned are Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss, and Atomic Habits by James Clear. And favorite movies include Inception, Passengers, and The Dark Knight. And I asked him if there is any particular lesson that he would like to convey to people. He says that chess failures are your best friends and life success is relative. So he advises to enjoy life, and he doesn't have any specific ideal, but in the recent years, he has accumulated a lot of knowledge by reading a lot of books. And he has started an initiative called Chess Grad in social media. So there are some pages. He's monitoring them. He has a team and they post chess oriented codes, puzzles, games. I'm going to put that in the description. Do follow him there. He's also into chess coaching these days, and you can also approach him if you are interested to learn from him. All the details are in the description. Coming to the game, I would like to wish Akash a very happy birthday, and I would like to thank him for sending his games and also answering the questions. This is the position from his game against Idani Puya, which I found very instructive. It is white to play. I hope you have already got some time to consider your move. I'm going to go straight into the game now and tell you about the beautiful move played by Akash. One unique thing about Akash is that he has this potential to adapt into different situations. He can play positional chess, he can play attacking chess. So that way we could say that his style is pretty universal. In this position, he senses that the pawn on d5 is controlling c6 and c6 is a weak square, and so he plays a brilliant knight a1 and he wants to go c2, b4 and c6. That's the knight path. So after knight a1, a5, knight c2, knight c5, you can see now there is another hole created on b5 thanks to a5, and so he got his knight to a3 and then knight to b5. Another critical position in this game which I really liked is in this position after rook to b8. They say that you require 3 pieces for an attack. The knight and the queen are already there, but the inclusion of the rook could also be considered. In this position, Akash found a very straightforward approach to just finish the black's king. Take a moment to see what you would like to do. And I'm going to tell the move now. The move is knight g5, threatening mate in 2, and after bishop g7, queen h7, king f8, and here comes the tactical shot. Just giving you a moment so that you could pause, and I'm going to tell the move. The move is knight takes f7, shot. After king takes f7, the idea is rook g1, and there is nobody to defend the g6 pawn. It's not just that, white will also lose d6 pawn and then get checkmated soon. After this position, black played rook b7, and after queen g6, he collected the d6 pawn, and then he repeated once to gain time and then found the final blow. It's very easy, you just have to include another piece into the attack. The rook is on g1, you just need to bring it slightly close and rook g5 wins. In this position, if you found rook g4, congratulations, that's also correct. And rook g5 is also correct, rook f5 is coming. There is no defense. For example, if you play something like rook f7, there is queen d6, dropping the rook. And if rook e7, there is this check and it's game over. So that was his first game that I liked. And then there is the second game that he played against Sandipan Chanda. So I'm going to come to the critical position after king b1, b4. This was again in Sikkim National Seniors. And I'm coming to the critical position. So he was slightly low on time here, but he managed to find the crucial variations. In this position, he played knight e6. I think this is a move that is based on feeling for the position. I'm not sure if this is the only way to win, because in this position, white is already heavily better, but he played knight e6 and then f6, f6. White, if you see the material, is a piece down, but he has a lot of initiative. Now the pawn on e6 makes sure that the rook could land on f7 with ease. And that's what happened. He played rook f7, queen c5, bishop h7. In addition to having a strong pawn on e6, the road is clear for these two pawns also to march on. So that also has to be considered when you are evaluating the position. And after rook g8, bishop f5, I'm coming to the critical position which I mentioned. This is the moment. I think this is the favorite moment for me from the game. White to play. What will you do as white? Okay. In this position, if you chose bishop to e3, congrats. That's also a very good move. The point is, after knight takes d3, you take the bishop and then play bishop t5 and rook d5. These two pawns are very strong and you will eventually win the game. A sample line could be just this, taking care of the back rank, and then g7, rook f8, and then rook h1, h6. This is winning. But in the game, Akash chose a fascinating queen sacrifice with queen takes d5. I really like this move and I would call it interesting. And after queen d5, the point is, when black takes knight takes queen, white just takes rook takes knight, and now the black queen has to move. And then in this position, Akash was actually considering queen b6 during the game for his opponent, and he was considering rook into d6. So I'll just show you that very nice variation. After rook d6, queen d6, there is a windmill like this, but after queen c6, eventually the game is heading towards a draw. And I've confirmed this with the computer evaluation. The position is equal. Now coming back, instead of playing rook into d6, Akash also gives the following variation. He says g7, double exclaim, and this is winning. Point is that if rook takes e6, there is rook f8 followed by g8 queen. But in the game, after rook d5, Grandmaster Sandipan Chanda played queen to c4. And now it is your turn. This is, let's say, the penultimate question of this game. What will you do as white? Congratulations, if you found rook takes e5, that is a good move because you are opening the line for the bishop and rook b7 is a threat. And if d takes e5, there is rook b7 followed by rook takes b4. The queen is hanging and the rook is indirectly supporting the bishop, which is called support through the enemy. Slightly unusual theme, but it's a good theme to remember. And then after rook takes e5, his opponent played rook c7 and the game was over in two moves. Bishop d3, queen g4, rook e4. And this was the moment, I think, which could have been considered as a question, but I think since the rook is hanging, it is obvious that he will play rook e4. If queen takes h5, find the final winning continuation. His opponent resigned after rook e4, but maybe you can calculate a little more. Alright, the move is rook takes b4 check, and if the king goes to c8, there is bishop takes a6 check, and after king d8, there is mate in two moves. You can either play rook takes rook and checkmate, or you can play rook d7 and checkmate. What a cute position, isn't it? So those were the two games that I liked and I thought of sharing with all of you. Special thanks again to Akash, And do follow his chess grad Instagram and social media links, all in the description. Also follow Akash on Twitter and Instagram. I'll be back with another video soon. We would like to wish Akash happy birthday again, and we wish him a great year ahead. And dear viewers, I'll be back with another video soon. Until then, take care. Bye bye.